All right, people, I need a go, no-go for the Geek News Central podcast. Digital archive recorders.
We're go fly.
Microphone.
We're go fly.
Video feed.
Go.
Web browser.
Go.
RSS data stream aggregator.
Go fly.
Interflux Toddism suppressor.
All right, I'm confused.
Host readiness check.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
The Geek News Central podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. Cue Todd in
5,
Button, who's got the button?
4,
There's no cause for alarm.
3,
Everybody hold on to something.
2,
Just press the button.
1.
Welcome to episode 1085 of the Geek News Central podcast. It's Sunday, December 27th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider or paypal.me/geeknews. You can always pick up Ohana gear at cafepress.com/Ohana store. Hey everyone, welcome to the show, and I hope everyone's doing good. And I'm just sending a message here to a chat room person. Okay. Everyone, welcome. It's been a while. I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to do an unusual show on a Sunday. And I was going to do one yesterday, but a little story about YouTube kicking my butt. We'll talk about that a little bit. And I tell you, hope everyone's doing well and had a Merry Christmas. And, of course, as we head into the new year here, but I wanted just to get everyone kind of caught up on what's going on and spread a little bit of holiday cheer while it still lasts, and talk a little bit more about what's in store with the show and everything as we're moving forward into the new year. But first and foremost, I want to give a very, very warm welcome to the Ohana, and, of course, a welcome to new listeners. If you're brand new to the show, you're kind of catching me after I've come back after a little bit of a travel. Talk about that here in a second. But you can get connected with this show very, very easily by going over to geeknewscentral.com, and you'll find an easy way to get subscribed right on the website. And just click your poison there, whether you're an Android user, if you're an iOS user, whether you want to get the show via email, or if you just want to connect via an RSS feed that updates, and we'll update a podcatcher that you have. Of course, you can always just watch or listen to the show on geeknewscentral.com as well. Of course, my writers have been a little bit on vacation. We're about ready to kick it up with a whole bunch of CES content. So Geek News Central is going to really become alive in the next week with lots of stuff. And I'm looking forward to sharing with you a lot of the planning that I've been doing and getting ready to head to Vegas. And I'm just clicking here because I have not had time. Let's see. Okay, am I on the right one? There we go. Okay, there we bring this stuff up. For those of you that are watching the video show, we had to reset the TriCaster completely, and it was not needed to be done. But again, I'll share here in a second. But anyway, if you got comments on today's show, geeknews@gmail.com, on Twitter @geeknews. You can follow on Google Plus or on Facebook, of course. Hey, we want to thank our sponsor, of course, of the show, GoDaddy.com. We want you to take time to get over, and if you haven't got the shopping bug completely out of you, and you want to spend a little more money before the new year, hey, great deals at GoDaddy. Again, all my codes are there at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. We've got 30% off. We've got 99cent.coms. We've got $1 a month for 12-month hosting accounts, whether it be economy hosting, managed WordPress hosting, or even website builder. All those hosting accounts come with a free domain, so you really can't beat the deal. So just check all those codes out. Again, at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. That'll get you connected with everything that we have, and it's available for you. And we want to thank GoDaddy for being a sponsor here. It's kind of crazy. This month's been kind of nutso from a show standpoint. And it's just because of the crazy travel schedule that I've had. But everything should we're getting ready to start pounding you guys with lots of CES content here in the coming days. But you can watch this show on the Roku, and it's going to be very important as we move into CES that you are subscribed to the Tech Podcast channel on the Roku. That way, you'll be able to just sit back and watch all the videos we're going to be flooding at you, all the different interviews. Over 250 vendors are going to be interviewed by the team at CES, and all those will end up on our Roku channel within the Tech Podcast channel itself, in the special media section of the channel. You won't have any problem finding it. It'll be up in center. Of course, you can listen to the show on Amazon Echo by telling Alexa to play you the latest edition of the Geek News Central podcast. You can listen on Stitcher, Blueberry.com, or you can stream the show on Live 365, TuneIn, etc. Don't forget about our partner shows on the website. We've got Jacob and Jeff, and I actually met Jeff while I was on travel. We'll talk about meeting Jeff, and he was nice enough to come up to the Christmas party that we had. And so Jeff hung out with us for a little bit, talk about that. Health Tech Weekly with Jamie Davis. Of course, Jamie is going to be out at CES with us, along with Don Bain, the Gadget Professor, and Todd Ani. The entire Geek News Central team, minus the Jacob and Jeff, will be in Vegas for the show and bringing you lots of great content from the show floor. What else in this stack? Okay, so let me just kind of back up a little bit. And last we were together, I was getting ready to go on travel to Columbus. That travel obviously took place, and I just was able to spend some time with my team. I had some very important meetings with some clients that took place as well. And then Friday, after I wrapped everything up, I was able to head up to Michigan and spent time with my family. Got up there late Friday afternoon, and had a wonderful time just talking with family and hanging out. And Saturday I spent that day just doing stuff around the house, doing some chores for my mom, and inventory of the CES gear that was really what was kind of surprised me was I was in a little bit of a mild panic because typically I will go home and able to inventory that gear and have plenty of time to get it sorted. Well, when I went home earlier in the year, I had not had time to go through it, and I generally know what's in it, but now I got a full-fledged inventory, checked everything out, did some actual mechanical repair on one of the boxes that I'm glad I was able to take care of because we could have ended up with a damaged mixer. Really, it was a very productive time. Sunday, we had the Cochran family party and friends party. And I feel sorry, Jeff came up from Auburn, Indiana. He'd been visiting family and arrived in the midst of basically the clan doing their gift exchange, passing around, and but was able to take Jeff and some friends of mine kind of on a tour of the family property, and got to talk with him a little bit. Not near as much as I had wanted to, but I think Jeff hung out for a couple of hours, and I appreciate him having come up, spent I think about 45 minutes away. So it was nice for him to have made the drive up and hung out for a little while, and it was nice to meet him in the flesh for the very, very first time. So I've got really that kind of summed up everything on Tuesday. On Monday was really spent half a day in meetings. We run around, do a few things, have some meetings, run around, do a few things, have some meetings. So I spent a lot of time on the phone. We did a new media show while I was in Michigan. Oh my God, it was crazy. So pretty full time, and then flew back to Honolulu on Tuesday. Obviously on Christmas Day, no show because, well, actually Christmas Eve there was no show. We had a family event on Christmas Eve on the 24th. But kind of get feeling guilty about not putting anything together for you folks, and wanted to spend a little time just kind of chit-chatting with you today. Not a lot of tech. I have just a couple of things I want to talk about. but more for the purpose of just hanging out a little bit. We'll have a regular show tomorrow, and then kind of I go on this crazy tour to Vegas and doing what we do there and putting the content out really live for you, 10 hours a day, starting on January 6th. But what happened yesterday was I had planned on doing the show, and basically when I have a lot of downtime, like I've had recently, I spend that time upgrading computers, doing the things that I normally don't do in the normal show rotation, because if you touch something, generally you break it. And lo and behold, I upgraded the TriCaster. I waited a year to update it, and the upgrade went smooth. I was all dialed in. I was very happy with the way everything was looking. So then I got the show studio kind of prepped and cleaned up from not being online for about 10 days, and went to hit the stream, and YouTube basically said, we don't see your stream. So because I had just upgraded, I naturally assumed that I broke something. So I spent about 2 hours literally banging my head against the wall trying to figure out what I did and what I screwed up, and I double, triple checked, and quadruple checked, and I finally just kind of gave up. And because I had other stuff to do, I had to start the packing of everything that's going to Vegas with me. Matter of fact, the studio is down to one camera, and the camera that I'm using today is a brand new camera. There's a point-tilt zoom camera, HD camera that I'm testing at this time. It's not doing everything I wanted it to do, from being able to be remotely controlled via the TriCaster, so we have to wait till January 6th for that team to come back from their break. I've never heard of a company that as big as this particular company is being on break until January 6th, but needless to say, we'll wait to then to figure out what we need to do to get control of it so we can drive the action. And so I'm using it today kind of as just a stable platform, not being able to move it and do what I wanted originally to do with it. But that being said, someone says the volume is too low on YouTube. So let me check here and see if I can turn it up for you guys. That should be better. Hopefully it's better. I think the host system's just a little bit low right now, which is not surprising, because what I had to do was because I thought that the TriCaster had an issue with basically upgraded and broke it. I was able to I rebuilt the system from scratch, upgraded to the previous version I was at, and that didn't fix it. But doing what I did basically destroyed all my presets. Was one of the reasons why the guys on YouTube can't hear me right now. Very good, because those volumes are a little low. But I did turn them up 4 dB, guys. I hope that helped a little bit. But so get in here this morning, playing around with it again. I said, just on the offhand, let me do a trace route to YouTube and make sure these servers are basically accessible. And as soon as I did traceroute a.rtmp.youtube.com, it failed right out of LA. And I was like, oh my God. So that was what really was the situation to begin with, was that there's just a router in LA that was down, and I spent 2-3 hours working on this thing, pounding my head against the wall for no reason. So anyway, that resolved today because I was able to figure out to use an alternate server on YouTube. Someone sent me a message on that via a support forum, up and running, and we're live. So that was kind of the down deep and dirty of what kind of happened there. So that's just the way the ball bounces sometimes when you're trying to do live and everything that goes on here with the system, the way it's tied in. So anyway, that's my sob story. But I essentially am about 90% packed I took a picture of all the boxes last night, and I have one more than I normally ship with. I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe I just haven't packed as tight, so I'm going to go back and re-look at the packing job tonight. But the cameras are basically in these cases. The tripods are all set up. We've got the batteries all charged. I've got really every piece of equipment that I'm going to need from here to do the show, including the TriCaster Mini. It's been run up. I've got the lower third set up. We've done the intro videos. Really all this kind of work that needs to be done before things get shipped out. So as it stands right now, I'm planning on shipping Tuesday for 2-day overnight, getting into Vegas on Thursday. Of course, FedEx will be closed on New Year's Day, and then we'll pick the gear up probably on Sunday, maybe even Monday morning. So just to get it there and have it in the holding area is crucial, um, largely because FedEx will not deliver this stuff Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Monday morning, we're going to be in the middle of setting the studio up in Vegas. So gear's packed up, and I'm pretty pleased with the progress on that. The bookings themselves, man, I was just slaughtered last week and the week before. We were getting so many applications in. I was probably turning down 50% of the applications that were coming in. They weren't fit to be on live broadcast. But I am essentially fully booked for Wednesday, Thursday. I have maybe 5 slots left on Friday, maybe 10 slots on Saturday. So come tomorrow, I am sure I am going to be slammed, and the rest of those slots are going to get filled as far as the live broadcast goes. So it's just an amazing. I don't think I've ever been this booked for the team this early. I don't. It was kind of slow going, and then just kind of shoot. I think everyone figured out, hey, we're getting close. We need to make send the emails to the press people, which, and basically that's when I get an email from a press person and a product that looks promising. We have a form letter we send back to them that basically says, hey, this is where we're at this year. This is what we're doing. If you want to apply for broadcast spot, here's a link to the broadcast application. They fill that out. We get it, review it, and then essentially I decide whether or not they're worthy of being on the air. Sometimes it's a judgment call on my part. Last year we whittled it down, and we did really well. I was even higher this year in rejecting broadcasting. Like I said, maybe 50% of the shows were rejected that actually applied. So that takes time, those booking emails and confirmation and all that goes. But essentially what I'll be doing tomorrow is printing every one of those applications. They go into a by day folder, by hour, so that when we are doing the live broadcast, my mom, who goes and basically acts as our person who takes care of getting people checked in, getting them to the green room, she has that sheet with the information from their application on it that she hands to the host. He's able to read real quickly who the company is on tap, who we're talking to, and basically some pertinent information. We get 15 seconds to scan that before the person sits down with us. So all that will be ready. And then what else? So Thursday, I fly out. Thursday night on New Year's Eve, I fly the red eye to L.A., then get on a flight, and I'll be in Vegas by 10 a.m. on the 1st. So it's really kind of like full gear from here on out. And so that's kind of why I wanted to do this extra show today, to talk to you all a little bit about letting you know what's going on. There's going to be a regular show tomorrow, a regular tech show full of all the tech stuff. So we'll get into a heavy tech-laden show tomorrow, and not so much of this stuff at the beginning. I'll probably try to go long to give you guys a good big chunk of data to tide you over till we get going in Vegas. But my writing team is ready to be able to start feeding you guys a lot of information that's going to be announced at the show. I hope that you'll be paying attention to Geek News Central, and be visiting the site multiple times a day, as we're going to be announcing stuff as it breaks, as fast as my small team is able to get stuff out. And it's really, it's a all hands on deck here, starting tomorrow all the way through the 11th of January. So Um, crazy it may be, it just seems like that's so far away, but really it's not. What else? Hey, I want to thank Sam Garcia. Did you guys notice in the back that for those of you on the video that the Ohanasaurus has changed? Sam had asked me for a picture of my um, Hall of Fame trophy, and he turned that into a screen back there. So it's really nice. Um, did a real nice job. That thing's bigger than life back there. So, Sam, thanks for the work on that. Job well done, my friend. Sam has been super too. He's been sending me a lot of show art. So I think he's up to like 25 different pieces of album art that he sent. So I definitely appreciate Sam and all his hard work. Uh, really, the true warrior here, part of our Ohana. Um, so just so you know, too, TPN.TV is where the action's going to be. We'll have a live video stream and chat room up on Geek News Central as well. But the majority of the action is going to be happening on TPN.TV. So you'll want to come over there, and that's where we'll have a live video stream. That's probably where the majority of the people in the chat room will be. Live blog will be over there as well. So we'll be live blogging the entire time. So you're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to have live video. You're going to and it'll be hopefully in replay. We'll talk about that here in a second. A lot of video. There's going to be, again, the live blog. So we've got the entire team that's tied into Scribble Live, and they'll be able to send pictures and all kinds of stuff. So we'll be flooding the live blog probably starting on Monday. I would expect that to be the case. Not this coming Monday, but a week from now, probably around the 4th of January, we'll probably be hammering that pretty hard. There'll be lots of stuff with us around Vegas and doing the things that we do to get ready for the show. Let's see. I've got a couple of things I want to talk to you about here today, too. I want to talk to you about we picked up a partner. And what we do for CES, and this is kind of what happens, is the closer we get to the show, we have companies that either haven't employed a PR agency or they haven't, maybe they're a little bit worried about the reach that they're going to have and are utilizing us to help them get some extra awareness. So when the folks from TAC App and TACK-APP approached us about becoming a partner of ours for CES, the first thing I always do when I go and have someone come in and being a partner, I want to make sure that the product is going to represent something that I feel that this audience and our partner, all of our team members' audiences, can promote and also stand behind. So I sent the link to several of the team members. I loaded the app on my Android, and I played around with it. Now, TAC App is by a company called StoAmigo. And what it really is a lightweight software application that lets you select any drive, which would be internal, external, on your computer or on your Android device. And it really makes it accessible via the cloud. And what it does, the drive is now considered TAC to your StoAmigo account. Your TAC drive is never really uploaded to the cloud, so your files remain safely hosted on your device or on your hard drive at home. What goes on there is your TAC app becomes cloud accessible through the StoAmigo user interface, enabling you to utilize all their features. And it's really kind of like anything you'd find on a normal cloud storage platform like Dropbox and so forth. But it negates the need for you to upload or transfer your digital content to the cloud. And again, once a drive is, as they call it, TAC, it's available for any device that can access the StoAmigo storage account. So this is pretty cool. And they've got a full list of testimonials, how it's being used. I'm going to have a ton of stuff to share with you in the show notes today about this. And they've got use cases, talk about the security, talk about how you can save money, how you can share and stream quickly and easily from it as well. Again, access and share the contents of your TAC drive from a mobile device via the StoAmigos apps for both iOS and Android, of course. and you can untack your content anytime. So really what it does is it just gives you access to whatever you have tacked to the account. And I think this is pretty slick, and it works real nice. It's very seamless. One thing I was looking at on big files, obviously if you want to access something and it's a little bit bigger and it's on the drive and not within, um, not on your application itself, this takes just a little bit to load it, but it really is a pretty slick system. And you'll be hearing more about TAC app premise as we move forward. But you can find this at mytacapp.com. Again, mytacapp.com. You'll find the page with the links to how to download it on OS 10, Google Play, or even on Windows 10 as an app as well. So definitely check these folks out. I look forward to working with their team, and glad they're on as a partner for us for CES. And as we roll through the show, we'll definitely add more partners as we go. But definitely want to thank the folks at TAC for coming on board. So let me just go through my stack here, make sure that I kind of covered what I wanted to cover today. Talked about Jeff. As I've been watching Facebook, several of our Ohana have lost family members, and one specifically lost a family member on Christmas Day. This individual lost his mother. And again, out of the trying to respect their privacy, I don't want to name names because I know not everyone, he's not friends with the entire audience, but Jeff, my heart goes out to you and your family. And we've had a few other folks as well that have lost folks over these holidays. So my heart goes out to all of you, and you're in our thoughts and prayers for sure. So kind of humbling to see that come across, especially right on Christmas Day. And I had been made aware via his Facebook post that there was some concern on Christmas Eve as well, but never fun to lose an Ohana member at all, whether it be a direct listener of the show or a family member thereof. But again, our condolences go out to you and your family. All right, I hope everyone had a great Christmas, and I didn't get to say it very much before I left, but Merry Christmas. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. And as we head into the new year, lots to really think about. Every year this time I do a lot of reflection on, where the show has been, where the show is going. I also did on the anniversaries of the show, and this year we've been slow getting to that next centurion mark. We've been, slowly marking towards the next 100. And I want you guys just to fully understand that after doing 1,085 shows, it is very good for my mental health to take off from the show when I need to, not to have to be stressed out during travel and putting a show together that would probably be lackluster at best, rushed, or maybe not good at all. So even though there are times when I've been taking off from the show, and it's specifically on travel days, it's not because that I don't want to do the show. It's because I still want to continue to be able to give you guys a great product, and at the same time, maintain my sanity. So these little breaks that I've been able to take throughout 2015 is needed if I'm going to be able to have this show go into the 12th, 13th, 15th, or 20th year. I got to be able to take a little time off from time to time. But one thing I am going to try to do in 2016 is as I go on travel or have to do something where I need to be away from the studio here in Honolulu, I'm going to try to bring in more guest podcasters. And it's really hard because a lot of these guys and gals are very consumed in their own shows, and asking them to strap on another episode in the middle of a week or at some point that it's a lot to ask. So I can't always get someone to come in and do the show, but I think to maybe I will ask a little bit more directly next year, and maybe even find someone that will do the show on a regular basis when I'm on travel. This by no means that I'm leaving and doing anything different. It just means that I'm trying to give you guys 2 shows a week whenever possible. It's important on a multitude of reasons. Number one, keeping the sponsor happy by keeping the number of sales up. That's a big part of being 8 shows a month. Another thing too is I kind of like being able to do 100 shows a year. I think or maybe 96 shows a year. We really didn't get there this year. We fell behind quite a little bit, but it was with good reason, and for my sanity, it's important. At the same time, I don't want you guys to be turned off from a show that maybe is not as good as it should be and go somewhere else and tune in and basically leave the show. I think that's important from that standpoint as well. But I do find it important that, you know, to maintain the relationships that I have on the show with all of you. The emails that come in are really kind of like shots of Red Bull. Every time I get an email from an audience member, that jazzes me up. So I can't stress enough the importance of providing feedback, whether it be positive or negative. That's always healthy for me, getting it from you. And I know sometimes you maybe get sick of me asking you to send your comments in, but I do that with the full knowledge that you guys have a stake in this show. Many of you have been here since single digits, and that is important that I keep you part of this Ohana. The chat room's been going here today, and apparently the page didn't fully up. Yeah, some folks had to dump their cash in order to get the new the new embed working on live.geeknewscentral.com. We're also on up on YouTube at youtube.com/Geek News. You'll be able to find the live stream there. Um, but as we come out of the holidays and head into 2016, let me just say this straight up: a lot of exciting things are coming. I have not been on travel just to be on travel. There's lots of stuff in development. None of it is for sure. A lot of it is, for better words, working towards an objective, and it's been very fruitful to this point. That said, I'm going to have a lot of work to do in making those objectives happen and helping to continue the business at Raw Voice continue to grow, while at the same time keeping you guys in tune with what's going on in the tech world. First and foremost, let me be very, very clear. I feel it's extremely important that anyone, especially in my position, that works with podcasters day in and day out, works with the podcast advertising community day in and day out, and the space in general. In order to walk the walk and talk the talk, I have to continue to push, expand, and do this show and try to be as creative as I can to stay, essentially, not become an old dog. I have to continue to try to make sure that this show stays abreast of everything that's going on. That said, there are a couple of projects that I have that I really want to kick off in early 2016. I think we're very close to being able to do that from a tech standpoint, so I can manage it a lot easier and not cost me an arm and a leg to do it. I also think that aligning with the right type of partners to be able to kick this product off is going to be very important. I've heavily invested in some domain names in order to make this upcoming project happen. It's not going to distract from the show, but it's going to be something that I am going to spend some time on focusing and building and working with some other partners to do. And I'll talk more about that as we go on. Geek News Central is always going to be on the lookout for shows that want to join the team and grow their audiences. So, with Don, the Gadget Professor, we got Todd, Ani, and the Elder Divide. We've got Jeff and Jacob. We've got Jamie Davis with Health Tech Weekly. These are some core shows that are part of this network that I hope each and every one of you are subscribed to via geeknewscentral.com. Come over to the website. You'll see their links to their websites on the header of the website. Go over there and get subscribed. These folks I absolutely trust and work with on a regular basis. Sometimes it's via Slack where we're talking, or a quick email back and forth. Sometimes they even have discussions on the phone, but each of them bring a piece to the network, a piece to Geek News Central that allows us to have a well-rounded bevy of content. Todd takes care of a lot of content that's affecting seniors and folks that are considered boomers. We've got Don taking care of the gadget side. Of course, there's crossover too between Don, my show, and Todd's. Then we've got Jamie taking care of the health side and the health tech side of the stuff. His show's video only. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to twist his arm to start putting out an audio version of the show as well. But, and of course, Jeff and Jake come in with their own brand of tech news and information. So it's important that you guys can support the other shows on the network too as well. And as I expand and start building new properties, I'm excited about what that is capable of becoming. And I have a evil plan for some of that, which will become self-evident as we launch and roll out with the projects and products that I'm planning to bring on the space personally. So it's going to stay as busy as ever. That is not going to change in the slightest. And thank God that I now have a great team member over at Raw Voice that has taken some load off me. Mackenzie Bennett, the gal that works in the office in Columbus, man, she's a lifesaver for me. She's taken a great deal of work off my plate that she now handles and takes care of, and I can reach out to her, and she answers the phone for me when I'm not available, and it just goes on and on and on. So, and I would expect as we move into 2016 that we're going to be moving fast and furious over there with product announcements, and I got a whole board of stuff that needs to get done. And Jack, yes, I haven't forgot to call your son, so that's on my list. But the team is going to definitely be, pretty much off next week. We'll have a couple of programmers in the office, Mackenzie will be in the office, but Angelo's taking a well-deserved, as much as he can, break next week to try to recharge the battery so that we can come back and hit it hard. Basically the first week after. What week would that be? Would he be back? Could be back on the 12th, I guess, and to start cranking, or the 11th actually. So, in our tech team, our tech support team, I know Mike's watching the show right now. Those guys are like they're our lifesavers, and basically keeping our customers happy and everything that goes with it. So I'm really excited about where the future lies and where things are going. So this show will continue to rock and on, and I hope that you'll continue to be a part of it and continue to be part of the Ohana here. But I just wanted today to take just a little time and reach out to all of you and say I hadn't forgot about you, and wanted to catch up on what's going on. But I'll be back with you tomorrow with a regular full-blown show in the traditional way we do it here, and I look forward to bringing it to you. But we've got one job left, essentially one big job left. I've got 150. After we interview someone at CES, we give them an envelope. We call it a reverse press release. It's got all our contact information, a little bit of info about who we are, what we do, about the shows in the network at Tech Podcast, and an offer, actually a promotional offer that we do as part of our coverage of CES, and a business card and some stickers. So a little bit of a swag thing at the same time. This year I got fire engine red envelopes, and I buy the most obnoxious color I can find because I don't want this stuff ending up in the trash. So we give them a color that is just like so out there that they are obligated to, well, not obligated, but maybe motivated to open it up and look at it. And of course, we always prep grease the skids a little bit when we hand to them. So some very important information in here. It's about us. It's about the follow up. It's a reverse press release about. So that always catches my attention. Reverse press release. What is that? And so we got to fold those envelopes tonight. Get them stuffed. Get the labels on them because we have every envelope labeled, and put them in the shipping box and ready to go to FedEx Tuesday morning. I'm a little bit worried. I think I'm up to 15 total boxes shipped this year, and I'm thinking to myself, is it all going to fit in the minivan? It's always a concern. As long as I get a Dodge Caravan, I'm okay. So I'll be going to the counter. What kind of a van are you giving me? Because I need one where the seats all fold in flat. I can't have any, and I have to essentially make a cargo bay out of the minivan in order to get all the gear in. It's always fun to see if it's going to fit or if I'm going to have to, basically leave my passenger at FedEx while I go drop a load, go back and get them. We've never had to do that before, but it's come very, very close. I guess this time it's Uber. We just put them in an Uber car and send them to the convention center versus having to leave them stand there while we make the run. But I hope that you continue to follow what's going on. I'll try to have the live blog up on Eaton Central as well, so you can follow along there. But thank you for being part of the Ohana. Thank you for being patient with me this 2015. I'm very excited about where we head in 2016. But I'm going to wrap it up for here. And as always, you can email me here, geeknews@gmail.com is the email address. Or you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and everywhere else social media is. And if there were any comments that come in via email, which I know there were, we'll cover them on tomorrow's show. But look forward to seeing everybody then. And thanks for letting me tune in here just a little bit today for this special holiday message. Everyone take care. We'll see you next time. Aloha.